Hi there, this is DB again in Kingdom Self Business, where we empower you to be the best and dominate in your unique business. Today, I want to share an interesting topic with you all. So, before I start, let me ask you, how would you feel having learned all the success strategies that everybody has been teaching? Inspirational speakers, motivational speakers, or the books, the Bible, and everybody that has been teaching on success, on greatness, on abundance, how would you feel if all this can be summarized into just two things, just like Jesus Christ did when he said, let me summarize all the 10 commandments into just two. Love God and love your neighbor as yourself. That's what Jesus Christ did. And that's what I'm going to do today. So, let's go. But for a starter, I'm going to give you 3 things that will guarantee you success. And at the end of this video, I will summarize these 3 things into just 2. Or even just 1. Make it simple. And these strategies are those that will guarantee you success. So, in today's topic, I want us to look at 3 things that could block people from success. You ready? Let's go. The first thing, not being able to identify your seed of greatness. Okay. People ask me, what's the seed of greatness? The seed of greatness can be explained. I like to use Bible references because Bible is the greatest success book in the world, like you might have known. If you don't know it now. So I take references because that's the book God has given to us for success, and no book ever been better than the Bible. In fact, 99% of success principles people have been teaching are from the Bible. So I take reference from Genesis 1, 26 to 28, when God said, be fruitful. We'll create man in our image and our likeness and, let them dominate. So it said, be fruitful, multiply, and fill the heart and dominate it. Before God said, be fruitful, that means we have the seed in us already. Because how can you be fruitful when you don't have the seed? That means the seed has been planted in us already. So what is that seed that God planted in us already? Now, if you know me and, and my works, you will recognize that the whole of my mission has been based on finding your purpose, tuning your seed in line with your purpose, and dominating in it, right? So, I take another reference, Proverbs 19, verse 21, which is like, the hallmark of my work. And it says, every plan and deed that you make according to your will, according to your environment, according to what people tell you, according to what you learn, will lead you to frustration. But every plan and deed, according to God's will and purpose, will lead to fulfillment, which I call success. Success is fulfilling what God has called you to do, right? I also take another reference from Isaiah 46, verse 8 to 10. It says, my purpose will stand. That's just saying almost same thing as Proverbs 19, verse 21. But explaining it, that I have seen your future. I have created you for a purpose. I put the seed inside you for the sake of this purpose. As long as your plans and deed is according to this purpose, and in planting this seed, making it fruitful, making it multiply, make it to fill the heart, and make it to dominate, then you will be successful. But if you do otherwise, you will be frustrated. Now, a lot of people don't know that a lot of so-called successful people are frustrated. So that's why I try to define success in a different way. I say success is knowing what you are called to do, identifying the seed in line with what you are called to do, and refining that seed to be a master in it and dominate the world in it. In giving value, solving problems for humanity, you are planting and reaping from the seed of greatness inside of you. So, the first roadblock is not knowing your seed of greatness. A lot of people do not know their seed of greatness. They look at other people's seed of greatness and say they say convert. They are attracted to other people's seed of greatness. But what we have been designed for is that our seed of greatness should come from inside of us and not outside of us. What do I mean by that? When you look outside of you to identify your seed of greatness, yes, you might be successful in it, but it's not going to be a great success, or what I call a great success. But if you are able to identify the seed that's been planted inside of you, those qualities, those talents that have been planted inside of you, in line with what God has called you to do, then you are refining it in that line. You plant it, you water it, you nurture it, you sharpen that seed, to be the best in the world in it, and you apply that seed towards what God has called you to do, then you are going to be very great. You're going to have great success. When Joshua said, the book of the law shall not depart from your mouth, that you shall study and meditate in it day and night, in which you make your life prosperous and you have great success. That is exactly what I'm saying too, but in another way, in a deeper way, to make you understand that what Joshua is referring to is, when you study the book of the law, you will know yourself, who you are. Knowing yourself, knowing what God has called you to do, makes you to know who you are. If you don't know who you are, you will take what people call you to do. You remember the story of John. John said, people came to John, just like the press will come to you. Your friends will come to you. Your colleagues will come to you. People from afar will come to you. They are the pressmen, the CNN, right? And ask you, who are you? Especially when you begin to succeed. Who are you? That's what they asked John. When John did not say anything, they said, okay, are you the Christ? He said, no, I'm not the Christ. Are you Elijah? He said, no, I'm not Elijah. Are you the prophet? He said, no, I'm not the prophet. Then, who are you then? Because these are the three people we know that can be doing such great things we are doing. And we need a feedback from you so that we can go back and tell the people that sent us. Right? Same way people will come to you. Not literally coming to you, but universe will ask you, who are you? people will ask you, who are you? And if you don't know who you are, they will give you what you are not. If John did not know who he was, they would have called him maybe Christ, or maybe Elijah, or maybe prophet. Just like they would have called Jesus Christ just an ordinary son of a carpenter, if he did not know who he was. So, know who you are, know the seed God has planted inside of you, in line with your primary assignment. Then you are on a step to success. So, like I said, I define success as knowing who you are and become more of who you are. In fact, become everything that God has said you will be, according to the seed of God planted inside of you. So let's go to the next one. The next one is being able to master your mind. So if you are not being able to master your mind, you have given yourself a roadblock to success. What has mastering of the mind got to do with success? By now, I think most of you that watch videos like this or workshops like this will have realized that all of us are a spirit, body, and a soul. Right? So we are spirits that have a soul inside the body. So, and in these three things, the one that really guarantee you success on earth is your soul, because your soul can control your body. Okay? And your soul also relates to your spirit. So your soul gets words from your spirit, which is knowing who you are and what God has called you to do, and getting a revelation of God to what he has called you to do, and being able to transfer it to the body for action is the soul's responsibility. And inside the soul, treating the will, the mind, and the emotions. What's the will? The will is the sense of the spirit of who you are. Okay, you see, I'm kind of summarizing it right now, right? Into one principle. The mind is the one that relates with the spirit, relates with your subconscious mind, and begin to direct every part of your body to what the will wants, and your emotions, senses. Friend, so what has the mind got to do with it? In the center of all this is the mind. Okay? The mind relates to spirit to get your will, and the mind relates to the body, especially the emotionalized interpretation of your five senses. And whichever is greater is what the soul will relate back to the spirit. And that's what determines what you do. That's what determines the circumstances that come in your future. So, what God has given to us is a free will, or a control of your mind, in such a way that whatever your mind can conceive and believe, your mind can create. So if your mind can conceive something and believe it, then it begins to direct your brain and other parts of your body to respond in line to it. And not only that, it relates with the spirit that relates with the universe to create circumstances to make that thing that you desire in your mind to come to fruition. So that makes your mind very powerful. And what God has given to us is a control of our mind. Our mind can be nurtured, so we can determine what our mind will relate to, just like we can control our thoughts. You know, a lot of people just leave their thoughts to wander. But if you can control your thoughts and you can concentrate your thoughts on the greatness God has put inside of you, then your mind goes into action to execute every other thing to create that thing your mind is concentrating upon. And there you go. And God has given us a total control of this mind. So many things we might not control. Okay? We might not control our immediate circumstance. We might not control how we are born, or what God has created us for. But we can control our mind. If you control your mind in line with God, what God has created you for, then you are on the path of success. And if you don't, you've just given yourself a roadblock to success. Comprehend? Now let's go to the third thing. The third thing is not taking a massive. You remember the Shunammite woman in the Bible, when the man of God said, "What do you have?" And she went and borrowed empty vessels. That is action. So when you get a word from your spirit or your will, and you concentrate that word, you meditate on it day and night, like Joshua said, and it's telling you to take action towards it, and you refuse to take that action, you've just given yourself a roadblock to success. And if you are able to take massive action, then you've propelled yourself to great success. And what do I mean by massive action? Massive action is important because you might take slight action, just like the Shunammite woman did. She went to borrow empty vessels, but she did not borrow enough. Okay, so a lot of us have taken actions, but not massive enough in line with what God has called us to do. And that has a very deep relationship with our belief, how much of faith we have. So there is no faith, no massive action. Little faith, little action. Great faith, great massive action. And when you take this action in line with what God has called you to do, nurturing your seed of greatness and being able to concentrate your mind onto that, it leads to massive action. So you can see that I've been able to summarize the whole success principles into one, right? Who can tell me? The mind. That's right. If you are able to master your mind and being able to concentrate your mind to what God has called you to do, you will be able to identify that seed that God has planted inside of you. And you will be able to concentrate on how that seed is going to produce fruits for you. And you will be able to take massive action. There you go. Those three things I said I was going to summarize to two. Now I can even summarize them into one. Have a mind of God. And that's why Joshua said, concentrate on what God has called you to do. Concentrate your mind on what God has called you to do. If you can concentrate day and night, like Joshua said, that you meditate upon it day and night, that is concentrating your mind on what God has called you to do. You will be able to identify your seed of greatness. And as you concentrate on how to use that seed of greatness, you will be able to take massive action that will lead to great success. So there you go. I hope you are able to get something from this. God bless. Bye. Thank you for joining us on the Kingdom Self Business channel. If you found this video valuable, be sure to give it a thumbs up, share with others, and subscribe to our channel for more in-depth exploration of your unique business. And until next time,
be the best, and dominate the world.